Slow. Back at it after another weekend. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and jump over to that monthly chart. We can see on a monthly basis, and let me know what you guys think about the color scheme. I've changed up the color scheme a little bit to be a little bit more neutral, a little bit less distracting. Right, I was reading this thing over the weekend that had said that, you know, using less red in your trading can cause you to be less impulsive. And I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting thing. I figured, you know, why not check it out and see? So here we are. Peter, good morning. Roach, good morning. As far as the monthly goes here, we can see we're still, you know, in that downtrend. And for something like this, um, because of how the futures contracts really work, we really kind of want to look at the SPX, which is the index that is going to track um, the underlying, the thing that we're trading, right? The ES. And so we can see, you see, well, we have some old drawings on here from previous, but you know, we've been trading this thing for a decent amount of time. But basically from this COVID low to the all-time high, you can see that the SPX came right down to its 50% retracement level. So up, down 50%. You know, they say that's still in a bull trend, and now we're starting to bounce off of that 50%. You can see we're starting to break up over this trend line here. Really kind of just sitting right at it on the monthly. You know, you could even say we are one time framing up currently, even though we've kind of retraced a little bit. But we did break that previous month's high so far in December. So we are one time framing up, so we can assume that this is at least decent excess until it gets tested again. Switching over to the weekly, you can see we've got a pretty decent trend here forming on the weekly basis. You know, a fairly steep trend getting right here kind of into that area where it's decision-making time. But we are one time framing up on the weekly as well. We didn't break the previous week's low. So here we are, still looking pretty strong, bouncing right off of that weekly 20 moving average, the 39.32. So let's go ahead and switch over to our profile real quick. I'm gonna turn this notification things off or else I'll fucking go mental. 39.32, pretty decent ways down here. Oops. Might even be on there. There it is. There's a 20 weekly moving average down there. Okay. All right, switching back to the bar chart. So really you can kind of just see we're coming back up into this space. If we take a peek at this, we'll even just zoom into the daily so we can get a better look at it here. But when you look at it on a daily basis, you can kind of see the market got resistance at the same spot, kind of broke that. You could see the gap that got left behind. There's still, you know, this gap up here above this previous high. And then we kind of had that same kind of look, this island top reversal pattern. That's what everyone called it. And I think that's what everyone got trapped in during this gap. You know, they thought that that was the bottom. They sold, and then we kind of bounced up and we're back above that, or right around that 200 SMA. But that 200 SMA is still kind of down sloping. So there's not really any, you know, real conviction yet of the market to continue higher. So we're still seeing a little bit of selling slowly moving down. To get convinced, we really, and to get the exact levels, you know, actually we'll have to go to the ES to get the levels that we're going to be looking for. But, and let's switch this to the cash. What we'd really need to see is a break above this high here. That's that island top, and I'm using quotations, 41.37 75 is the going to be that kind of key level on the upside to be able to break above and hold. Lecker, good morning. And congratulations. Your team was definitely the better team this weekend. The USA got a little smackarooski. All right, switching over to the profile, we'll go ahead and go over Friday's session. What time is it? Get a little bit of time. We'll go ahead and go over Friday's session just because I feel like a lot of people struggled trading on Friday when the market was it was trending up, but it wasn't a trend day, right? So the market one time framed up until really until H period, well, until G period, I guess. G period finally broke. H period cleaned up the E low. The market kind of, battled around that prior day low, failed to get acceptance below the prior day low, and then kind of rallied into the close. So the way that I'm looking at this is, to me, is still kind of bullish, right? We had value move up, it built a little bit higher, moved up, built a little bit higher here, and then moved up and built a little bit higher into the end of the day. So we had value shifting higher throughout the day, and then just a failure of the market to really push back below the previous day's low. So there was no acceptance below at these prices, even though the market's trading down there right now. And I think we might get a test of this 40 just because there's a big offer sitting there, or big bid sitting there, excuse me. But it's kind of, it doesn't look as bearish as kind of everyone is. That's what I do. It doesn't look as bearish as everyone's kind of saying. The media is kind of hard to decipher right now as well, with their narrative of, this is happening and this is happening and that's happening, and you guys know how that goes. Just a stream of trash almost constantly, I feel like. I know Jim Dalton had a webinar this morning. I don't know if anyone attended it. If you wanted to let us know, I'll watch it later today and see what his plan was. I watched his recap for that he put out like week 10 or whatever, and it kind of seemed like he was leaning more bearish long term. But we'll kind of see what happens. So we've got overnight inventory. For the most part, I would say net short. A lot of volume came in above the last, but for the most part, we're net short. So we'll look to see how the market opens breadth-wise. You can see the breadth is down here now, so it's going to be these last two. So I've just kind of grouped them all together. Makes it a little bit easier to find. So it'll be these last two here. We'll kind of see, we expect them to open up a little bit negative. We'll probably get a negative tick. We're opening down about, 30 handles. So there may be a bit of downside breath to start the day here, of course. But in reality, basically this is how I'm kind of looking at this. I'm looking at this as far as this is our balance here. The top of our balance was what, 50.75, right? So we're basically right at it. We're at this 200 SMA. So if the market peaks below here, maybe comes into here, maybe it looks to target this little weak gap. I kind of doubt it. And this is last week's open, so I'll delete this. But if we don't get below Friday's low, then I think that we could easily get in and at least target that prior day low, which is only 5 points above right now. But really that target's going to be that settle and that overnight point of control. So we'll see how the session goes. And this is saying we're probably open with negative breath, but if we don't see conviction to the downside that takes us back below this low, because we saw how strong this low was on Friday, right? These sellers really tried and just got stuck down here and then got ripped up during that B session and C session. So We'll pay attention to this low, treating it as support for now, and kind of just go from there. There's a couple of other things that I want to look at. I do want to look at the COT report real quick before we get started. So we can see here, as of Tuesday last week, we got a little cut or a little add to the short position, a big cut from the spread, and a big add to the long. So basically, that's what that's telling us, honestly, is that the big money bought the dip. We were right. But to me, that's what that tells us as of last Tuesday, and last Tuesday was the 30th. Oh, erase this. So here's the 30th, right? Oh, it's the 31st. Oh yeah, the 30th. What day was the first? Thursday? Friday was the second? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so the 30th. And I mean, you just see like market just shoots up. So on Tuesday, the 29th, big accumulation from big money. Next day, they got squeezed, and the market kind of rallied higher. So, and we still have trapped shorts below, starting from Friday's low until here. I mean, you've got these two big distributions of single prints. Poor high there. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things kind of like coming together right at this time. And then we also want to take a peek at the investing.com. But first, let's play some Reveille. All right. We are ready. Ready and prepared. Also wanted to do this 50 on the weekly. Wrong spot. At 41.34. That's right. All right. Let's take a little quick peek over at investing.com, see what else we've got going on today. We have PMI coming out in 18 minutes, so at 9:45, services PMI comes out. And then at the top of the hour, we've got non-manufacturing PMI coming out. So there is some news coming out this morning that may affect the market. We'll just have to be prepared for that. But not to fear, I got an alarm set. Good morning, Dan. We definitely want to be remembering that we do have a poor low down here too. So any break, if we do get a break of low and start to eat through these single prints, if we start speeding up with some tempo, they could be targeting to fix this weak low and put good excess on this. I think that's what Jim was talking about, because Jim Dalton was saying on his update from this weekend that we had good excess on the high, but we didn't have good excess on the low, and I think that's the low he was talking about, because I couldn't figure out what he was talking about until just now, actually. So lucky for us. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else. Any questions, comments, concerns, post them in the chat. Let me know if you guys like the new color scheme of the page, right? Just kind of grade everything out, a little bit less color, a little bit less flashing lights, a little bit less craziness kind of going on. But you got about 2 minutes until the market opens up, and yeah, just be ready. Now's the time to do your final preparations, and let's have a good day. I'll be right back. All right, 5 seconds. All right, there's the bell. So we open almost right at the 200 daily moving average. Like I said, there's a big bid down at 40, and I kind of expect the market to at least go down there and test it out or something. Expecting it to um, see if it's a real bid or not. So we'll kind of see. But breaking back above the open, could see the breadth positive on the Nasdaq. NYSE's a little bit red. Pretty much green off of the healthcare. Tech is getting pretty green right off the bat here, but we're not really getting any movement up. You can see the tick opened up very low, back below 1,000. Like I said, I really think we're going to come down and test this 40 area. So I don't know if I'm going to be taking any trades off this top. I mean, it looks, I don't know. Tech looks like strong, right? Tech's kind of popping up here, but everything else looks kind of weak. So I'm not really getting convinced of anything. Very tight range to start the session. Nasdaq's looking strong. Nasdaq's holding this thing up, but look at the rest of the market's going red. Tick looks weak. Breath is not real weak. Back to the open here. I think I'm going to try a short here. Short this 47.5, maybe 48. Let's see. Let's try this 47.5 with a stop of 50. Just a cool, I mean, just to try to get a little skin in the game here. So a nice easy short going already. I mean, you can move your stop into profit if you want, or you could just keep your stop where it's at. It's not that big of a stop anyways. Um, Looking for the market to break the low and trade down to the 40, right? Just not giving us what it wants to give us, not telling us that it wants to go up, and just looking kind of weak. If you want to move your stop to break even here with these sellers kind of getting stuck down here at the 46, that's up to you. You got a mechanical low right there at that A low as well. Healthcare's flipped green here, so you've got a pretty decent amount going green, really propping the market up. Tick's starting to pop. So sellers are stuck down there on that 46. This thing's starting to get back up to the weak spot of the profile. You could see some short covering here from the overnight session. There it goes. So takes us off of it. Or stop loss takes us off of it, I mean, excuse me. First trade was basically a loss. Kind of a wash here. Let's see if we get any continued upside. I mean, the market just doesn't look super strong to me, but volume's pretty low. I might try the short again. If we get back below this 48 again, I think I'll just try it again. Let's see if volume steps up here. That'll be kind of the key seller to tell us if there's gonna be continuation or not. Nasdaq's looking real strong. Nasdaq's looking real strong. Maybe we don't want to fade this at all. Right to that T2 low. So now we have a mechanical low and high, a weak low. Market's right at the VWAP. If the market can establish above the VWAP, we could definitely catch some nice upside here. See if that tick starts to agree and get back above zero. A little bit of profit taking up here. Mechanical selling off that T2 low, it looks like to me. We're kind of right off the point of control from Friday's session as well, so be careful here. Tick still didn't get back above zero. Breath is still flat. Tech is really the leader here. Tech is really the only thing that's kind of propping the market up. So the market needs to get above VWAP in order to really give you some clear sense of direction. Who's in charge here? Nice. A little fade there off of the prior day high. All right, back up to it. So the market's pretty slow here. We've got some, remember, we've got some economic data coming out in 5 minutes, and then again at the top of the hour. So we've definitely got to be prepared for that. Right now I'm short one lot from 43, and I'm looking to add if we get back underneath of 48. Like I said, I think the market wants to test the low here. It just looks very weak and being held up for the most part just by tech. So we'll see what it gives here. So the keys here, guys, pay attention to the sectors, right? We've seen the Nasdaq just go red, so that's not great for the upside. We've only got tech and communications green, besides utilities, materials, and real estate, which no one gives a fuck about, right? So 7.5 plus 26, so you're looking at like 30% green. Pretty much the rest is red or flat. Most of the sectors are kind of flat, which is why the breadth isn't super negative. Weighted AD is barely printing up. Well, it's actually a negative number now, -7. And then we're coming. Uh, the tick still hasn't got above that zero level yet. So we've got economic data coming out in just about 3 minutes now. So we'll have to really just kind of wait here. That's really all we can do. What's up, Kevin? The bot got into a put. Hmm, interesting. All right, we're getting close to that 48. This is kind of the area where I wanted to add to this short at to see if we can keep going. I initially tried to short it here, got stopped out, shorted again 53. Um, I kind of want to add here to look to see if we're going to clean up this week low. We got 1 minute until economic data comes out, so actually like 10 seconds, so probably not the best idea. Hmm. 46.2 versus 46.1, so pretty much the same. Actually came in better than expected, which should be negative news for the market. We'll kind of see here. Offers coming back down on that 48. Remember, we had some trapped sellers down here on this 46, so below this 46, we could really start to pick up some momentum here and push that low. Hmm. What's interesting is the Nasdaq's really not taking part in this push lower at all. The Nasdaq actually like doesn't look as weak as, and the Dow looks pretty strong as well here. So that may be it right here. We'll see. I added on the 48, took some size off right on the 44. I've got one lot left. My stop is at 48 quarter, and I'm just looking to see if we can get some 40, get some 40s. There are some sellers at half back. Yeah, I think you're correct. All right, so second trade makes up for the first trade. We're back to green. We document the first trade. The market wasn't going fast as we thought, and we should have flattened the trade for a profit, but we stayed around and ended up letting it take our full stop, which was only a two and a half point stop. So it wasn't too big of a massacre, but impatience, could have just waited for the trade, let it get exhausted first, but got a little bit of FOMO and didn't want to miss out on a little flush lower. Oh, and 70 call puts. All right, we've got economic data in the top of the hour. We may just sit here for the next, however long. I'm gonna take a quick commercial break, and I will be right back. All right. All right. Sellers have decided now's the time. As long as the market doesn't get back above 46.75, we should be good for the downside here. I'll move my stop down to 47. See if we can catch some. I'm gonna take some off at 41. I added a little bit more, but I'm gonna cover everything at 41, I think. We break it. Not then obfuscate. Might cover everything at 47 here. Shit. Oh, skin in my teeth. Come on, give us that 40. Breath is picking up to the downside here. Tech is the only thing that's green, really. Communications is pretty green, actually, too. That's why the NASDAQ must be holding on so strongly. But I mean, how long can it last, you wonder? The Dow actually looks pretty decent as well. The Dow is down 0.68, ES is down 0.74, Nasdaq's only down 0.47. Gold, I hit a fucking nasty gold short. Let's go. We're just keeping a close eye on the Nasdaq here. If the Nasdaq starts to puke, it's gonna be just. I just want to cover in front of this big offer that's sitting at the 40. So there's a big bid sitting at the 40 at 312 lots. It's been sitting there all morning, Jake, and so that's why I'm looking to cover just right in front of it. I always want to sell into strength, right? I want to make sure I get filled at the low instead of just putting my offer or my take profit at 40 and being in line with these 310 other people. I want to make sure I get out, so I'll front run them a bit. And so, if that's what's happening here and other people are doing that as well, and we're getting front ran by profit takers, so all this buying that's coming in is just profit taking, not new business. Well, if this guy just pulls his bid, right, because there's not real buyers up here, these are profit takers. If this guy pulls his bid, decides not to be a buyer, then this thing could really easily trade all the way down into Friday's excess. And that's why I kind of want to it's tough. You want to cover some, but you want to keep a little bit of a runner on too, because you could get a little breakaway here. I'm gonna move my stop to 46 flat here. We're guaranteed in the money even on the ad of the trade now. How do you see that order? On the DOM. Looking on the DOM. Nice. Covered 2 at the 41. Hmm. Move my stop to 44 half. Actually, I'll move it to 43. Yeah, I'll move my stop to 43. I'll be good with this if we get over 43. Actually, 43 half. 43 half. There we go. 43 half. It's called there.
And you get in that trade at 53?
I got in that trade at 53. Yep. I got in that trade at 53, added at 48, and then sold some at 44 and then 41, and then I just have one left. Looking really if we could just flush the 40 down to like this 33, just trying to let it run as much as I can.
If it goes lower than the 40, you're going to add?
I might add on a pullback. If we pull back up to like the 45, the open, and can't break above the open, there might be an add there, but I probably will cover and just get a new position, to be honest. You know what's funny is that at 8:58, which is basically an hour ago, I texted James and Jared and I said, I think we're going down to the 40. And then, I mean, it's only 7 points lower than where we were at when I texted them, and it went up first, but it did come down to the 40. So that kind of gives us a little bit of insight onto who's really playing in the market today. And really, it doesn't seem like there's very much big money in the market today. That's not much size. Yeah, I mean it's not. It's just I mean that's just the biggest size that's kind of around right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, Tech's pulled off a little bit. Tech was up over 40. The Nasdaq came off of it a bit as well, but still is nowhere near its low of day. The Dow still looks fairly strong. Nice. Hmm. Fuck yeah. Well, winner, winner, chicken dinner. There we go. So a little economic data right at the top of the hour shoots us down past the low. Gold dumped as well. It was cool. Hang on, I gotta adjust the position real quick, guys. A little volatility kicking in the market. Gotta adjust this gold position. Look at the data that came out here. ISM non-manufacturing PMI came in at 56.5, was estimated 53.3, so it was a good news was bad news type thing. And there goes the low. So best thing to do now, I mean, if you're still in the short, good for you. If you're not still in the short, just be patient and let the market kind of figure itself out real quick. There's no reason to try to force yourself in this volatility, especially when there's no conviction. Look how thin the book is right now. You're seeing, I mean, 20 lot orders at the bid and the offer. That's weak sauce, right? That's chaos. There's no reason to get involved in something like that. Let the book thicken up a little bit. Chill out. Don't get don't get uh consumed by the volatility and really understand what's happening in the market. The market looks like shit, right? And you I know you guys don't hear me say this super often, um, because I'm always looking for the buy side, right? But the market looks like a fucking it looks terrible so far, right? Not as bad as it could be, but it doesn't look great. So no need to try to get tied up in this volatility and be like, I nailed the bottom, right? There would be more opportunity today. Like I said, if this thing gets back up to the open and fails to really establish itself back above the open, we could fade that. So if you feel like you missed that initial short, or that, well, it was actually the second short, um, there'll be more. So the key here to pay attention to on this bounce, so we're getting a pretty decent bounce out of these singles, so expecting that this is mostly short covering, low volume day, so we know that it's mostly smaller time frame traders in control. We're finally seeing a tick bounce above zero here. So what we have to pay attention to is communications was up 80, tech was up 40. On this bounce, when we get near the open, is tech back up at 40? Is communications back up at 80? Is our tick staying above zero? Right? That's going to be really the only thing that can really confirm to us that we don't want to short a bounce. All right, we're chilling now. What you doing? Nothing, chilling at the Holiday Inn. A little, you're just seeing a little. I mean, it makes sense to bounce from there, right? A little short covering out of the single prints, back inside yesterday's range. So as we're getting back inside yesterday's value, that's going to be, we can use yesterday's value in the Globex low and the open, kind of all is the same thing. I want to see the market get established above the open, tech pick up, communications pick back up, the tick hold positive to really convince me of some continuation to the upside here. But you do want to remember that tech is strong. The Nasdaq is strong. Not on. I don't want to say strong. Not as weak as the ES, I guess you could say. Um, ES down a full percent. Nasdaq kind of lagging behind, down about 0.85. Dow down about 0.85 as well. So, excuse me. The 10 years up pretty decent here. The TNX is up pretty decent, and the 10-year yield is up. I was looking at it yesterday. Yeah, I caught a nice bounce today. Damn, should have taken that. Oh, let's see. On the daily chart, there's that huge DTL from the peak. Seems like we'll need to hit 4,000 or lower to provide proportional pullback from that DTL. And maybe XMS and zero point 0.5 from Powell pushes it. What's DTL? Oh, downtrend line. Oh, macro. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we haven't really shown conviction either way, right? The only thing that we really have um, to to really show us on the macro level is our daily chart. And on our daily chart, we're one time framing up, and so on a monthly, right? And a cessation of that wouldn't be down until 36.99. So even a pullback anywhere inside the excess of this previous month that doesn't break that previous swing low could still, that could still just be, I mean, really at this point, honestly, just like almost balance. I mean, look at these levels here. I mean, if you were to just take the bodies of all these candles here, you're kind of balancing in a bigger perspective. So it could even come down here. Buyers could step up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. A little bit of volume coming in here inside the previous day's range. Getting back to the impulse was basically 39. So not able to break above the impulse there on the first try at least. Nasdaq will give us a clue here. Look at now. There's a big offer on 40 here above. There was that big bid on 40 below when price was above. So now there's a big offer sitting there, which is probably a stop loss. Let's look to see if these buyers get stuck again up here around this. Is this like 39? They fail to close like that impulse again. Yeah, so sometimes with the tick, we've talked about how like how high it doesn't go. Sometimes it can be the same idea and how low it doesn't go as well.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with oil with this oil cap
Yeah, it
happens
is.
today.
It is going to be interesting. There's a lot of trading that went on right here in the last period. It was pretty neutral though. Um, or in the early in the B session, I mean like this 36, 37 area. That impulse, like I said, is right up at 39.
What do you mean by impulse?
Like that's where the market shot down from.
Okay.
The IT sector just flipped red. A bit of volume coming in right here at the 34. So really all we can do here in this little range is just sell the 36, 37 with that stop above the impulse 39 and kind of just take profit into this area here as we've seen buying kind of stepping up off of the low. The low doesn't look very strong to me, right? And this is not great. Just how it tested, that just means that those were limit orders just in the market waiting to buy. So kind of bounced off of that. But I feel like it may need to test that again. But basically, we have, volume stepping up, and then you have profit taking. So laggard profit takers on the spill covered here, and now we're kind of back to their buying point. So what we need is actual selling to get back below this 27.5, and that should take us down to that B low. And the market still is continuing to look fairly weak, right? So it's tough to really become a buyer. But we know where it's nice because we know where we'll be wrong at. The tempo's getting a little bit slow down here now, though. Probably flatten. Yeah, I'm flat right here, 33 flat. Might be a little bit early, but I think we might catch one more little bounce before we try to go fix that low. Nasdaq still breaking lower. Would you say all the indexes are continuing to drop? Yeah.
Good morning. How is everyone? So the best thing that we could see here
I think is a nice pop, and I'd like to pop that 40. I'd like the tick to get above 600 and then just kind of stall. I don't really want to see any change here. I want to just see it kind of stay flat. So just be quick, and we might be catching an opportunity anywhere from the open really down to that 40 level as an area to sell a pullback. Not financial advice. You guys could see it on the screen, right? Not investment advice. They're catching a little bit of a pop here. Yeah. See what they get. You can see the distribution look here, right? A period, B period. There really no overlapping TPOs. One, okay. But you've got volume and volume, right? Excess, excess. Is this good excess? Meh. Is this good excess? Meh. If they're gonna break this impulse, AMD made a new daily low, but bounced higher. Yeah, IT's going green. Healthcare is actually turning green. Communications is picking back up. Yep, there's that pop. So even though we kind of expected this, right, and we kind of saw it developing and kind of setting up, it's really just the reason I don't want to take that trade, or the reason I didn't take that trade, was because of how weak the market is looking, right? We talked about early on in the session like how the market needed to get above the VWAP to really kind of convince us that it wants to go up because of how weak it was looking. And I mean, it's still looking fairly weak. It's just starting to get a little bit stronger, but nothing convincing yet, at least. We're just really going back up to that 40 to kind of get back to where the breakdown occurred from. There might have been a decent opportunity there. I'm still hanging up. I want to see. Yeah, that might have been. Well, we'll see, I guess. 2 minutes until C period starts up, so we might open with a little bit of single prints here. So we'll see if they hold right away. Uh, you know, we'll have some decent information. Yeah, yeah, that was a nice one. Yeah, missed that opportunity there. All right, here's C period. We open up with some single prints. So let's see if we're gonna get continuation. Little volatility kicking on here. AMD digging deeper. Yes, didn't close those singles on that high, so see if we can keep going. Nasdaq flushed. Yeah, no continuation there. Why is my thing not constantly updating? Oh, we should. I feel like the market wants to go down. Check this prior day's low. So let's do this here. If Let's pay attention here. If this market can break this prior day low, there's a bunch of bids sitting here trying to hold this thing up. If C period doesn't come back down and extend, this might be a go with situation. As long as the tick is above zero and you start to see a little bit of green here, just to cover back up into that weak spot 40. You'd be looking for like a 4 point take profit with your stop, like literally just it needs to work right away or you've got to flatten the trade um almost instantly. All right, you're in the trade. You're gonna move your stop up right here to 35. That's a loss. Quick trade. Quick loss of 1 point. Try it again. Doesn't work. Try it again. Third time's a charm. This isn't really a diddle in the middle. This is more of like a play off of liquidity. It's just annoying that it's not working right away. Alright. Alright, moving myself to 36 quarter. Okay. One or two ticks of profit if it comes back to me. So that's fine. Wow. It does look like it's gonna pop though, but just didn't. Tick was above zero. You saw everything kind of cool. Tech just flipped green. We were seeing all the signs there, but no continuation, and then overhead resistance still there. So tried it a couple times, flattened twice basically. One two tick profit. I don't really count. Still looks like it might go, but I don't know. I've knocked on the door 3 times and nobody answered. So for me, I'm just kind of like, well, I'll just try again later. So here's what I'm kind of assuming now. I'm kind of assuming that we're probably looking at a little bit of balance, but maybe a breakout here. Like I said, if we get above that, and you can see where the VWAP is at 40.47 now, so not too much above the open. That could lead to a breakout if you get strength here above this, and the market starts to be more agreeable. Still looks weak for now. Um, but basically, we've got kind of our parameters set as far as where we can assume the market wants to travel based off of how low the volume is. So C period looking like it's wanting to break this level here. Failure to break above the open and hold, that would be a nice little fade back down to this volume here. But you're kind of seeing C period sitting inside B period still and really looked below the volume, right? Didn't really like it. Coming back up above the volume, not really getting any continuation. The rest of the market is trying to go green here. Healthcare is 9%. You've got a little bit of green kicking in, ticks above zero. Um, but for the most part, I mean, values overlapping to lower. Everything's just looking bearish to me. Everything's looking more downsidey than upsidey, with the possibility of a breakout. But we could just balance here as well. And then we can also maybe assume some liquidation early on and then short covering so they liquidated down into those profit targets. Watch the reaction off of this 35 here. There's not a strong reaction, a bounce that takes the high, then we'll probably go test that 27 half. Yeah, sellers are getting stuck right there on that 35. Nasdaq is looking a little bit stronger here. There goes a break. So watch for acceptance back inside this B range, really below 38. That looks like it wants to go up. Let it kill itself off first. There's that plus 600. So look, we're back up here. We're getting back up here. And remember what, well, it's a little bit different this time because we were saying communications 80. We wanted tech to be at 40, but healthcare is positive now. And so, and staples is positive. So you're starting to see some stuff flip to the green. That's what I'm saying. You got to let it die out here.
Are you talking about for the fade back down?
Yeah. Big bid chasing price. It gets filled. We're back at this 40 level. This was the big level from earlier. That's what it kind of looked like with that buying there, was just that short covering. That last pop was just that seller getting out of the market. So I kind of feel like you might catch a bit of upside. Today's a tough market here. Healthcare is cooling quite a bit here. Weighted AD's picking up here a little bit, ticks back below zero. Look for the market to get accepted back underneath of 38. Back underneath 38 could take us back down to the point of control easier, even below to the 27.5. So no acceptance underneath 38 right there, at least on the first test. A
What is
bounce
the
here would kind
80?
of confirm that that seller was out and that buyers are stepping in. What's that?
I was asking what the red ADD is on that tick chart.
The advanced decline,
What does that mean?
like the advanced decline line, like so, like how many stocks are going up versus how many are going down. So like the advanced decline's like negative 377 right now. That's an unweighted number. Does that make sense?
No, not really.
So like your advanced decline line, so it'd be like looking at like we're looking at the advanced decline line of the S&P 500. This is this number is just correlating to the advanced decline of the NYSE tick. So it's at like negative 363. So if we take this box, make it big, change this to ADD. And so you can kind of see like this is what the unweighted is at, right? Versus the weighted. So it's just like kind of right below it. So it's just basically taking all the stocks in the NYSE and um, subtracting them from the stocks that are going down, and then giving you a number. And so that number is negative 369 right now.
Oh, I got you. Thanks, man.
Nasdaq trying to reclaim the VWAP here. Man, this is getting slow. It's like moved a little bit and then it stops. Same thing happened in C period. Like B period moved down and C period opened and just stops. Now C period moved up. Now it just stops. Hey, Pop. Nice. Not in pain. That's good. So we're back kind of flirting with this 38 level here. And like I said, acceptance under this 38 might take the market down to like 27. Which was that? Or like maybe like 30. Back down to our kind of range, 31, 33. Back down to volume, but failure to hold the volume. And we'll kind of know right away here. Is it if it doesn't go like this, then we should target that prior day low. And this low, like I said, it's not. I'm not really convinced that it's gonna just hold this low forever. Um, you're seeing healthcare. It went green, but it's cooled off quite a bit. Communications is up at 50. That's still doing well. Tech is holding okay. Seeing our weighted AD come down a little bit here. Let's do this. Studies. What color do we want to do for negative? All right, seller's really trying this 37.5. I'm gonna put my stop. Oh, trying to figure out where do we want to put it that's gonna be safe. So you can see that bounce off of that, right? Broke down below that 38, bounced up above. We don't want to see this thing get above the C high if you're short. Might just have to flatten out here. Market just doesn't look strong. It's hard to really be convinced of any direction, but the downside looks like the right side for the most part. One thing I'd like to start doing is kind of gearing our trading sessions, especially like now, right? The market's just so weak. I could call a play by play, but there's really, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're just established inside these initial balance, and we're trading, right at the center of the initial balance. So there's not really any conviction yet. We identified where the accumulation was above in A period, and they just started to distribute lower. Markets trying to get accepted here underneath of A session, but just having a tough time. A lot of buyers probably buying back, scared that they won't get back down to cover down into those singles. So a lot of scared money on the street right now. But what I'd like to start doing is like like really gearing in with you guys as far as either like reviewing trades or going over certain shortcomings that you feel like you're having. um there's certain things that you're just not going to be able to teach, right? You're not going to be able to teach someone when's the right time to get into a trade, when's the right time to get out of a trade. But what we can do is at least try to develop some strategies to get to that point. Yeah, if there's slow tempo to the upside and there's fast tempo to the downside, um, it could indicate that sellers are, you know, there's momentum sellers in the market, and if you break a real low, then there can be there can be a lot of continuation. Let me look at AMD. Today's low on AMD the same. Low was 73.66, 73.65. Yeah, so it's a poor low or weak low on AMD. So if AMD breaks its low, that 73.66, I would expect it to go down full dollar, honestly, down to 72.66. T period opens up right at the center of the market. Let's see if we get some continuation, and that would show us one time framing up off of the low, and that would kind of really start to tilt our heads towards that buying direction. This would basically tell us that buyers stepped up on 35, they're stepping up again here on 40. We saw earlier the order that traded through on that 40 right before the initial breakdown. We're back above that 40, and we saw that order actually close sneakily. But we saw there's a little pop. See if there's any continuation. It's still not getting above 600. BPOC moves up. All right, watch this 38. Failure to hold this 38. Bring in some downside. Never mind. It looks like the market wants to test that 45. All right, I'll be right back, guys.
He's going to be sad he missed that. I guess only if it stays, though.
How's your trading going today?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I got a little bit carried away on Friday in one of my accounts, and so I promised myself I would only trade in that and the sim. And in that account, I'm up, I don't know, like,
Brad always warns about going ship on Fridays.
well, and it was my own stupid fault, but it happens. And in that account, I am up, I don't remove my sim. I'm up 14 points.
Nice.
So I promised myself until I get it back above, I will not trade in any accounts, including my PA. So it's kind of like my own little timeout, as it were. And then the bot's okay. The bot's down about 10% right now because it got in a little early into a put. But we'll see where it ends up. So far, I'm just getting lots of strong signals to the downside, but I mean, you never know. So we'll see
Yeah,
what
the tick's been
happens.
negative all morning. Now the tick just went way down to negative 300.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll make it down far enough for the bot to actually get out, but it is what it is.
Your bot's in a put
In a put,
or
in a short.
short?
It's been in profit for the majority of the morning because it was down you know, down far enough, but it was just like barely, like I think it got up to a maximum. Let's see where it got. It got to a maximum of 10% up. But it's been making, well, it's been making lower highs and lower lows, but this last one has been the longest time that it has taken to sort of like stair step up to where it is now, which was a lower high, and then now it appears to be on the downward. But whereas before it was like all in one candle, it would freaking just flush. This time it might, I mean, I'm just at the beginning part of the downside, so, but it looks like it's a little bit more moderated versus just a standard heading in the negative direction. I think like he was saying, like lack of conviction. Counts are 2 and 27, which kind of lead me to believe that it seems to want to go. And there's, I don't remember, it was earlier in the day, but there were counts that were 0 and 49, 0 and 70. So overall, I think the sentiment is down, but whether or not that translates into it actually making a dramatic move is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, with half the sector's green, it really could just go either way. Now the tick's almost at 0. So who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of like anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out.
I'm only playing in sim right now.
Me too. Me too.
I took those trades earlier. Well, one was before market, and then a couple of them were during market.
I'm even in 1-1 lost one. Now the tick just jumped way down.
I keep trying to walk away and come back and have the market change, but nothing's working. We're gonna need to end the stream, call it a day. That'll get the market on
Thinking,
its heels.
who was it that gets into a trade and then it immediately goes in the opposite direction? What do we need? Who was that?
I feel like everybody has
Well, I know it
experienced
happens
that.
to me. That's what, when I get into a trade, it immediately goes in the wrong direction. Oh, tick just went below 0. It's kind of been ranging right there for a while though, hasn't it though?
Yeah, let's see if it flushes the 33 here again. It looks like it wants to. You got all these mechanical buyers buying this 38, buying this 38 through all of C period and all of D period so far. So if they're not going to run it up and get above that 45, then they might just pull their bid and try to buy it lower. At this point, I just want something to happen. I don't even care what it is. Selling is starting to pick up a little bit. It looks like weighted AD starting to get down a little bit lower there. If that tick fails, that's going to be a go with situation. That should flush us down back into our zone. Nasdaq's really trying to hold on to its VWAP right now. It's right at the VWAP. Yes, just a little bit below its VWAP up there, 45. That's what I'm wondering. Does it want to test the VWAP before looking lower? Or is it just going to shoot right up there?
Anything crazy happening with the oil market?
Um, Not really. It's flat, up 0.09%. Gold's rallying here a little bit. The dollar's pretty neutral. The Aussie dollar's down on the low. The euro still looks okay. I mean, oil's been beat down since the morning. It gapped up for Globex. So there's that tap of VWAP right there. Let's see what we get. I'm gonna try one from here with the see if we can short this thing down.
Cowboys scoring 54 points.
Yeah, that was dope. That was an
Yeah.
ass whooping. I stayed up for the whole
Yeah.
game. Yeah, that was awesome. That's how that game should have gone, though. That's the thing. It took till the
Yeah.
fourth quarter for that to happen, but it should have gone that way the whole time.
Yeah, they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Hey, Double R. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, man. Thank you.
9-3.
9-3. Remember, I told you 2 years ago they were going to win the Super Bowl when it was in Arizona. So just remember. Brother, what's up, man? How's it going? Nice break there. What do I got left? Two. You could probably move your stop to 42.5. And if it gets above there, just get out. I know it's a tight stop, but right now the market is really 50-50. There's no real continuation. We caught a nice short there off of the 45, but when you're 5 points up, you could take full profit here. But I think that we might head down to that 33, 34. Yeah, I don't know, I've got something going on, just something I just have to regain control of. Just like an underlying health issue and just like keeps flaring up. Just need to like kind of figure it out what it is. All right, Lecker, have a good day, man.
COVID-22.
Yeah, probably. Uh, it's good. The East Coast is good. I like the hours a lot better. The house is it's the bomb. Way better than my California house, that's for sure. Virtually no neighbors. Could literally just dirt bike right out of my back door. Maybe that's what we need, Liker. You're taking one for the team, so thank you. Get us down to 33.
Maybe even that prior day low at 27 half.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that because I don't think honestly if we break this 27.5, that's a go with situation, and you could target that 22 because I don't think this low. We've been talking about this all morning. I don't think that low is going to hold all day. People aren't crazy. The people aren't crazy. Yeah, that's true. It's definitely different than California for sure.
California gas came way down though. It's in the $4 range now. $6 a couple weeks ago.
Dang, that's same as here in Pennsylvania. Gas is about the same. I have one lot left on. Yep, one lot left on. I'm looking for 33. 33, 33. Come on. Or would we say 34? I might take it right here.
Yeah, that ticks at 7:15 now. Negative.
Yeah, I'd like to see the tempo pick up a little bit to convince me of some more downside. So I'm completely flatten my short there. Um, I'd like to maybe try to, if we get a little bit of a pop, get in on another short. And if it just continues without me, then I just close too soon. That happens sometimes, and I'll try it again from the prior day low. But I'm not really sold that there's going to be any continuation yet, so that's why I just flattened it. So what that puts us at 3 for 4 today. Not bad, not bad, not bad. 3 for 4. We're up 39 points. That's pretty good.
Oh, good job.
And yeah. But I think I'm going to end it here. I got to get a workout in. I'm really trying to get back into this routine. I think, maybe my underlying health issues, I've gotten off my routine because it's a little bit different when the kids are in school. 39 points. You should have seen it on you should have seen it on fucking what day was that? Wednesday last week? That was a massacre. I hit a trade that was 50 points. It was dope. So did Lecker, I think, too, actually. Someone hit a 50-point trade that day. Someone in the yeah, on the PAL speech. Someone that was in the chat. I can't remember who it was.
I had that one trade.
I know you had a trade, but that was a short trade. There was a long trade.
Oh, got it.
Someone hit a long trade that was like a 50-point long trade or something. But that was pretty good.
Crazy.
Yeah, badass. Oh, was it VJ? Might have been VJ. But yeah, so I mean, just to take a look at what's gonna happen for the rest of the day, or just at least get like some idea, right? We have that A high. Yeah, let's scrunch this in so we could see. Okay, so we've got the A high here, B low here. The A high, right, couple ticks above the prior day high, not really that big of a thing. Honestly, I mean the VIX is right at 20. You could move your TPOs to the to 1 tick increments if you wanted. Let's see. This could be a go with situation if they push through that 27.5. Obviously, we closed a little bit early on that trade. Why did I leave? That was still pretty weak. But basically, you're kind of sitting in balance, and you're still, for the most part, that D high, right? Mechanical high. So that D high is not really that safe. Right off the 200 SMA, right off the open. Now we've got a weak low, this DC low. You got that prior day low right there, and then kind of this weird low was just buy stop. So that's why we've been kind of thinking, it's not going to hold for the rest of the day. So if the market starts to get down here, really this is just kind of a go with. I think you probably just go with any break of this D low, and then it should just flush right away. And your only pit stop would be here, maybe a push down, pause, and then finish what you're looking for. Weighted AD is picking up. The rest of the sectors are picking up. Breath is back to picking up. Tick is getting close to that 1,000. So that's not a great look for sellers. That means there, possibility of getting a little bit overextended here down on the low. We'll kind of see here. Yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. And then, like I said, I'd like to start getting everybody to the next step, but I can't do that unless I know like exactly what the issues are. And if you want to send them to me on the side, and then I can just talk about them on the stream, and that way you don't single yourself out. But honestly, like, think about it. It's like the same 20 of us in here every single day. We know each other. We're pretty comfortable with each other at this point, so no one is really gonna think any different of you. And honestly, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Um, so the best way I think is to just get it out there, and let's start overcoming some of the obstacles that you're having, and get everybody to that next step. I'd like to see, we've been seeing people get the funded they passed the funded trader thing. I'd like to start seeing some of these withdrawal certificates, because they give you, they've sent them to me before. They're stupid. But they're withdrawal certificates. I'd like to see those. I'd like to see not only you guys passing the the funded challenge, but actually taking the money off of them. And I'm in the right state of mind. I'm determined to get you guys to that point. So, but the only way I can do that is if you guys let me know what we need to do during this time in the morning. Um, so please just let me know what I can do, and then we can try to figure it out and then kind of establish our ways. So we did have a book entry today too. We want to do the book before we go. Market's still, I mean, I'm still gonna trade probably, so I'll probably still be sitting here. Yeah, we could just do the book. Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, sweat it out. That's what I need to do. You get a sauna. Excuse me. Bring my laptop into the sauna. Have you seen those saunas? They're like a bag. They like zip around you, like a zip up your neck. I'll just get two armholes in it and just have my hands out. Let's see if I can find this lesson real quick and we'll just go over it. Move the cursor with your eyes. That'd be cool.
Damn, it's gonna be 85 today. It's crazy.
It's gonna be like 28.5 today where I live.
Fuck that.
No, it'll probably be. It's probably like 40 or something. Feels like cold. Trying to find the lesson that I was reading this weekend. I can't really find it. I'll look for it and then we can have it set up for tomorrow. Yeah, it was super cold this morning. Yeah, and they blocked off the Cooper's parking lot, so I had to park like a mile away from the school and walk. It was a pain in the ass. Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate it. But yeah, I couldn't find the book entry, but I'll find it today, and then we'll go over it tomorrow, or maybe this afternoon in the Discord. But yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll share my screen in the Discord. I might not be on the mic. I'm gonna work out here pretty soon, and then I'll jump on after. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys later.